Okay, this is just a common sense video, and this is what I've been trying to get across to, secular geologists, skeptics, whatever, people that believe in deep time evolution. They believe the sediment layers are millions and millions of years old, but they're worldwide. They're all water deposited, and it just makes no sense for there to have been millions of years, considering that 50 million years or even as little as 15 million years would have eroded all of the sediments into the oceans, so that there would be no fossils, no sediment layers, nothing in that amount of time at the current rates of erosion. You know, not even considering catastrophic events or something. So, yeah, you have mega sequences of water deposited sediments all around the world stacked on top of each other like pancakes. And, you know, it doesn't take a really bright person to see that. And if you're not seeing it because you believe in magical evolution, writing programming to make living organisms for a purpose that aren't there, then you know you're believing in nonsense, a fantasy. But anyways, let me show this you know creationist video with just some simple, pure common sense. Okay, this is a creationist ministry called Creation Evidence Museum. You can go and subscribe. Let me see. Hold on. I got a screen share. Okay, so it's the Creationist Evidence Museum. AM Coffee Print. Okay, this is very interesting because, like I said, it doesn't take an extremely intelligent person to understand this. Your IQ doesn't even have to be more than 175. I mean, 75 or 100. You know. Now, I've had videos where I call out these people that supposedly have an IQ of 150 plus, that they should be calling out evolution and questioning evolution and the peer review process and everything, how wrong it is and how misleading it is and how useless it is. But that's another entire subject. So let's watch this video here of not really bright, intelligent people, but they can see using common sense that there was a global flood, worldwide flood. So let's go ahead and watch it. Pay attention. I mean, and you can slam creationists for having a low IQ all you want. What's your excuse for believing absurdities? Just because you want to have magical matter existing.
Tell me, sir, you're a geologist. You're also a certified school instructor. What does it take to get sedimentary rock that remains stable? What does it take to get that?
Well, it takes compression, takes binding agents to bind the grains together. In order to get it in layer form, you typically have to have fast-moving water. Sedimentary rock is laid down by water.
Water, but this is rock that extends all the ways to the eastern seaboard, runs throughout Scandinavia, throughout Russia, throughout China, throughout Saudi Arabia, throughout Israel, throughout Africa.
We saw it in Israel.
You saw it personally throughout Africa. It's global. So how do you get global sedimentary deposit requiring water?
A global sedimentary deposit, same chemistry, same fossils, global flood.
Global flood.
Well, when the rock is on at least 6 continents at the same stratigraphic level, the easiest solution is a global flood.
The most obvious solution.
The most obvious solution.
Do you mean you will put your degree in geology at peril by stating that there was a global flood?
I've already done that.
Oh, all right.
I've already done that twice now.
Let's give a hand to this good man, this educator. So there was a global flood. There is no question about it if we look at the evidence, honestly. So having said that, these rocks at Glen Rose are assigned by the evolutionary community 110 million years in age, assigned. Now, in our opinion, they were laid down 4,600 years ago in the worldwide flood, just recently. But according to standard academic posture, these rocks are 110 million years old. But now we get to the AM coffee print. It is in Permian Rock.
Okay. Yeah, now just let's get an idea of what Permian Rock is. So we got the Cambrian Rock, we got the Ordovician period, the Silurian period, Devonian period, Mississippi, Pennsylvania, Delaware, tri-state Delaware area, whatever. And then we have the Permian period. The Permian period is before the dinosaurs. This is not even considered a dinosaur here. The Permian rock is before the dinosaurs. And fossil footprints are considered fossils, the same as anything else. It's evidence, it's fossil evidence. It's actual evidence of a footprint in the Permian rock, which is before dinosaurs, okay? Which is, it's an absurd timeline to begin with. So let's go ahead and keep watching this a little bit as he explains the validity of this fossil footprint.
Permian rock, but it is of the same basic chemical composition. It has a series of 9 8-inch human footprints in it, and it is assigned an age of 225 to 256 million years. Again, let me state that, 225 to 226 million years. Whoops, somebody's got a real problem. One of these prints has been on display for a number of years. The grandson of the discoverer, who now owns the artifact, placed it on academic loan with the Creation Evidence Museum. And this is a photo of it made by David Lines, who's behind that door right there, and he's a professional documentarian. I want you to notice this slab on which the prints are found. It's 8 inches. There's the great toe, second, third, fourth, little toe, the great toe, second, third, fourth, little toe. There's a very thin veneer on it. It's cracked right there, and that veneer reaches all through this. So in other words, that very thin washback had to occur after that was made. And if that were carved, you'd have to cut through that very thin veneer, and it would be obvious that the thing was carved. It is not carved. It's that simple. No carving activity was indicated. CT scan Procedures were performed at a certified technical laboratory. As with the previous prints, the lab technicians verified compression and weight distribution consistent with forward locomotion of a human foot. The footprint is genuine. And here it is. And around the edges, it's lighter. That means the rock's harder. It's compressed more there by the method to make the track itself, and the X-ray has more difficulty reading through it, so it is lighter. And the professionals at the lab each said, that's genuine. That's genuine.
That's genuine. Is genuine evidence of the global flood and of people walking before dinosaurs supposedly even existed. So, what's up with that? What's up with that? Hello, Jeremy. Martin, how you doing? See, we got a serious problem, and it's the academics who are pushing this narrative of a story that has no basis whatsoever. We have historical records of the global flood. We know when it happened. We know when the civilizations began. And like you said, it was 4,600 years ago. And there's just no doubt about it. It's a fact of history. It's a fact of history. And if they want to do science, they need to study history first and get their history straight. And then maybe they can understand that the flood was worldwide and that everything above the great unconformity is from the global flood that deposited mega sequences of water deposited sediments over a mile deep, as much as 2 miles deep, and which was subsequently eroded in many cases from the runoff of the water washing off of the continents as the water settled into the oceans, as the ocean sank down and settled deep into the oceans. So, that's the evidence is clear, and all we have to do is just expose these educators that are pushing this baseless belief of evolution in millions of years. It's totally debunked, like Prey says. It's totally debunked. And there's nothing they can say or do. You watch Dan Cardone, the biologist, weaseling his words with semantics about, trying to say that unrelated changes, chemical changes can form mechanisms and things like that. He's just weaseling his word. You can't have a directed working. It's not a written programming. It's not a prebiotic cell. It's not anything. He's just weaseling his words with semantics, trying to say that there's something that constitutes evolution. And it's just total nonsense. Absolute rubbish.